You know, we use tons of words every single day, most of them without even thinking about it. But what if I told you that some of the simplest words are hiding a surprising amount of power? Today, we're going to dig into the hidden complexity of just one very common four-letter word.
So really, think about it. How many different concepts or actions can one simple little word actually mean? Well, the answer might just surprise you. It's a question that gets right to the very heart of how our language is built. Okay, so the word we're going to put under the microscope for this whole exploration is one you've probably used 100 times. It's roll. Seems pretty simple, right? Well, let's find out. All right, first up, let's look at its most common job. As a verb, you know, a word that describes something happening, an action. This is where we see the word roll in motion, literally. So the first meaning is probably the one you think of right away. This idea of something turning over and over to move. Just picture anything round, a ball, a wheel, you name it. When it moves by tumbling like that, it's rolling. It's a basic law of physics that we capture with this one little word. And this sentence just paints the perfect picture, doesn't it? You can immediately see it in your head, that snowball getting bigger, picking up speed, just tumbling down. The word rolled captures that whole dynamic image. But hold on, it's not just about things moving by themselves. We can also be the ones doing the rolling. So this second definition is more about the act of making something, taking something flat and forming it into a round shape.
And right here, you see that action in play. It's not about traveling from one place to another. It's about changing an object's form. It's the same word, rolled, but it's a totally different kind of action.
Okay, so let's switch gears a little bit. Roll isn't just something you do. It can also be a thing, an object. This is when it's working as a noun.
And what's so cool is how this connects right back to the verb we were just talking about. A roll can literally be the final product of the action of rolling. The action itself creates the thing.
Yeah, this is a great example. Someone took the action of rolling the cloth up, and now the thing itself is called a roll. It's such an efficient way to use language, right? Naming something based on how it came to be. And then you've got a meaning that seems totally different at first glance, but it's not. In the food world, a roll is a small piece of bread. Think about dinner rolls, bread rolls, that kind of thing. Oh yeah, everyone knows this one. But even here, it all comes back to the same idea. A jelly roll gets its name from rolling a flat piece of cake around a sweet filling. So the name is still tied to that original action of turning something over on itself. And just a quick little detour here. The pronunciation is pretty much the same in the UK and the US, just a tiny difference in that vowel sound. And of course, it sounds exactly like roll, R-O-L-E, like an actor's part. Totally different word, totally different meaning. Language can be pretty tricky sometimes. Okay, so roll can be a verb, it can be a noun, it can describe actions, it can describe objects. But believe it or not, that is not the most interesting thing about this word. Not even close. This is the big reveal. Roll was specifically chosen to be on something called the Basic English 850 list. Think about that. Out of the hundreds of thousands of words in the English language, this one was considered essential. Which of course probably has you thinking the exact same thing as this slide. What in the world is the Basic English 850 list, and why does it even matter? Well, Basic English is this really fascinating idea from back in the 1930s. A linguist came up with this simplified version of the language, and his goal was to create a core set of words that could be a foundation for pretty much any conversation, especially for people learning English. And the whole thing is built on just 850 words. That's it. The idea was that if you mastered these 850 words, you could express almost any complex idea. It's all about maximum efficiency with a minimum vocabulary. So, this all brings us right back to our little word, roll. Out of all the words they could have chosen, why was this one so critical that it had to be one of the 850? What makes it so special? And here's why. Roll is the perfect poster child for this list because it's such a workhorse. It's a simple, common word, sure, but it describes a fundamental physical action, it represents common objects, and it's just incredibly versatile. One word does the job of many. And that's really the big idea here. The story of this one little word shows us that the power of a language isn't just about how many words you know, it's about how flexible and fundamental those words are. A small, carefully chosen vocabulary can be unbelievably powerful. So I'll leave you with this thought. The next time you use a really simple, everyday word, just pause for a second.
Think about all the different jobs it does, because as we just saw with roll, some of the most powerful tools we have are hiding in plain sight. What other ones can you think of?